What's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it.
Money longer, shout out bros and keep my eyes in the sky, cause that's where I'm moving. Say they wanna read my mind.
Several teams in the 2018 NBA draft were in a weird place with their organization, and they put themselves in a position to select one of these studs out of the lottery. A couple of these teams are a solid piece or two away from being contenders for a playoff spot, and they possibly already could have found that piece through the NBA draft. I'd say that there's like 6 teams in the lottery this year that may have selected a rookie who can contribute to winning basketball right now. With that being said, you won't see guys like DeAndre Ayton, Marvin Bagley, Kevin Knox, and etc. Those guys will not be on this list because the teams that those guys are on are a bit far off from the other teams that I'm about to mention. If you for real think that the Suns, the Kings, and the New York Knicks have a real chance of making the playoffs this year, you have problems and you need to check yourself. The teams that I'm about to mention are very close to completing their rebuild if they aren't finished already, and most of these teams are 2 to 3 years removed from the playoffs. Alright, so now that y'all understand the qualifications, let's get to it. First up, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, of course, Memphis is in the West, and because of that, their playoff chances aren't absolutely amazing. But they still do have a chance. The only reason why Memphis was in the lottery this year was because their star point guard Mike Conley had a season-ending injury early last year. He only played 12 games. He basically missed the entire season. So once he went down, the Grizzlies were basically destined to be cheeks for the rest of the year. But being so trash during the regular season last year might have just paid off because of their recent pick, Jaren Jackson Jr. Okay, so as y'all should know, I'm a big Jaren Jackson fan. I like him a lot. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I really wanted the Atlanta Hawks to draft him originally because I thought he was the safest pick and he fit best with John Collins, and his skill set contributes to winning basketball instantly. But don't get it twisted, I'm happy with my pick. It's still Treyway over here. But anyways, with the addition of Jaren Jackson Jr., the Grizzlies just put themselves back into the possible playoff appearance discussion. They have a good roster with great youth and veteran talent. Marc Gasol has been known to be one of the best centers in the NBA for a while now. Mike Conley has also been one of the best at his position for a while too. If those two stay healthy for the majority of the season and lead the young guys like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Dillon Brooks, I would definitely not be surprised if they made the playoffs. These two players that Memphis will get and end up getting back, Mike Conley and Jaren Jackson Jr., could possibly take this team from last year on another level. They have a real chance of becoming the 7th or 8th seed in the West. Jaren Jackson Jr., if you guys don't know much about him, let me give you guys a quick summary of what his game is looking like. So the 6'11" power forward slash center is known for how much of a dog he is defensively, hence why the Grizzlies probably took him in the first place. Jaren is versatile as hell. He has a rare ability that most true bigs in the NBA do not have, and that's being able to rim protect at a high level while also being a great perimeter defender. That means he can guard smaller players due to his mobility, instincts, and length. You can pretty much put him on anyone who plays the 1 through 5 in the league, and he won't get burned too badly at all. In fact, he should be able to hold himself down pretty well. On top of his insane defense, Jaren is a sharpshooting big too. In college, he was a deadeye, and he was knocking down 3-pointers at a 40% clip. Playing Jaren Jackson Jr. alongside Marc Gasol is slick gonna make them one of the best front courts in the NBA because these guys can get the job done at a high level on both ends of the floor. Keep this in mind, y'all. Jaren Jackson Jr. is only 18 years old. He is younger than me. He has more than enough time to develop the rest of his game. Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be scary one day, and he's going to be really good with the Grizzlies. So with that addition there, the Grizzlies dramatically improve their playoff chances. In my opinion, I think the Grizzlies are just as good as the New Orleans Pelicans, the Denver Nuggets, and the Portland Trailblazers. I believe Memphis and Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to surprise a lot of you guys this up and coming season. After leaving Memphis, y'all, we're gonna stick around for a little bit longer and stay in the West to talk about the Dallas Mavericks. A lot of people do not realize this, but the Dallas Mavericks are damn near done with their rebuild, and they're just about ready to start competing again due to how well they did this offseason. Of course, we all know at the NBA draft, they decided to trade up for the Wonder Boy, the Europe sensation, Luka Doncic. playoffs. I could really sit here and list off all his accomplishments one by one and list off all the things he did in EuroLeague. But to be real, none of that stuff really matters anymore now that he's in the NBA. What does matter though is what he brings to the court and his skill set. He fits in seamlessly with the Dallas Mavericks. I think Dennis Smith Jr., Harrison Barnes, Wesley Matthews, and newly acquired center DeAndre Jordan, and whatever is left to Dirk Nowitzki, will benefit heavy from playing with Luka Doncic because of his passing ability and how much of a threat he is to score. All the guys surrounding Luka are going to feed off of him, and their shots should come a lot easier and they should be more efficient as well. Especially Dennis Smith Jr. He's about to have a fantastic year because now he has another playmaker, creator, and another threat along his side to relieve some of the pressure off of his back. With all of that being said, do the Mavs have a real chance of making the playoffs? Well, I mean, they really could, but I don't think I truly deep down see it happening. Unless Luka turns out to be much better than we all expected him to be. I'm saying he gotta throw up numbers like 18, 5, and 7 in his rookie year. That's just how I feel though. Anyways, if I were you, I would not totally rule out the Mavs as playoff contenders. They have a really good versatile roster surrounded by two great young players. Will it be enough for the 8th spot in the West though? Possibly. We'll have to see about that one though. Up next, whatever transition you decide to use, we got Gilgeous-Alexander and the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. Mojo, who the hell do the Clippers have in order to make the playoffs in the crowded West? They trash. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the same exact thing until my friend Max and I were having a conversation about the Clippers. After that conversation was over, I then noticed that the Clippers actually have a quality roster filled with great role players. Lou Williams, I don't even know if y'all want to call him a role player because he's a deadly scorer and he damn near made the All-Star team last year. So yeah, let's not forget about him, the dude who averaged 22 and 5 on good efficiency, who nearly led the Clippers to the playoffs last year. They also got Tobias Harris, the dude who has been known to be one of the more underappreciated players consistently in the NBA these last few years. Those are their two best players, and they have a supporting cast of Avery Bradley, Patrick Patterson, Danilo Gallinari, and Marcin Gortat. You cannot lie, this team is actually pretty deep. I didn't even mention their rookie that they scooped up in a trade on NBA draft night with the Hornets, Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, on this channel, I never got a chance to talk about Shai ever before. Shai is one of those big body point guards. He's 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan. If I were you, I would definitely not be surprised if he turned out to be one of the better guards out of this draft. Shai is a really smooth, skilled guard who can find his way to the rim with ease because of his length and how much of a threat he is to pull up for a mid-range jumper. He's someone that we all should peep during the regular season. Whenever I watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he reminds me of Chris Middleton and also Sean Livingston. Those are two really smooth scorers. They're not too athletic, they're not too explosive. They're really smart offensive players. Depending on how well he can adjust to the NBA, and if he can at least get minutes off of the bench, he really could play a key role in the Clippers' success alongside Lou Williams, while of course coming off of the bench. Those two right there would make the Clippers bench deadly, and that right there could be enough to maybe edge them out to the 8th seed in the West. Okay, now we're all done with the West. Thank the Lord. Because I know some of y'all might be trying to give me hell in the comments for putting one of these teams on this list. If you try though, I'm just gonna let you know I'm ready for all the smoke down in the comments. I slap you with the facts. So anyways, onto the Eastern Conference rookies and teams. The Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, as we all know, Cleveland lost LeBron James for the second time. The first time LeBron left, Cleveland ended up being complete cheeks until he came back. But this time around, the Cavs prepared themselves for this exact moment. Dan Gilbert and Kobe Altman geared up for this gigantic L that they're about to take in the offseason. And I'm not gonna lie, I think they did the best job that they could possibly do. They still have a bunch of solid pieces, plus newly acquired point guard Colin Sexton. I've been wanting to talk about Colin Sexton for a little while now. I think he and Caleb will be the ones deciding whether the Cavs make the playoffs or not. Two things have to happen in order for the Cavs to make the postseason. For one, Kevin Love has to stay healthy. There ain't no ands, ifs, or buts. So that's the first thing that needs to happen. Secondly, Collin Sexton has to be a stud day one on the court and go crazy this whole season if the Cavs want a true chance to make the playoffs. He has to have a Donovan Mitchell-esque season. What I mean by that is he has to be an elite, reliable offensive option and be an ecstatic player who carries energy with him day one. Is this possible? I say hell yeah. Collin is a damn dog and he plays with hella intensity. And also, it's not like Collin doesn't have any assistance to bring the Cavs to the playoffs. He has Kevin Love, who will be the #1 option, and Cedi Osman, who's gonna shock a lot of people this up and coming season. And you know, the Cavs also have Larry Nance Jr., Jordan Clarkson, and Rodney Hood. Wait, I don't think the Cavs signed this dude yet. And it's whatever. I'm just gonna assume that Rodney Hood re-signs with the Cavs this offseason. But yeah, like I was saying, this is a good team with zero expectations and no pressure. Yeah, I can honestly see the Cavs make the playoffs as a 7th or an 8th seed. In order for everything to go to plan, Sexton got to ball and Kevin Love has to stay healthy. The last two teams on this list are the Chicago Bulls and the Charlotte Hornets. Now, let me run through the Charlotte Hornets real quick because I'm not so confident in this team like the rest. The Hornets have Malik Monk, who didn't get a lot of opportunity last year, Kemba Walker, who's an all-star of course, and also Miles Bridges, newly acquired rookie, who is an extremely versatile, skilled perimeter player. Something to keep in mind is that last year the Hornets had a lot of lingering injuries going on within their roster. That very well could be the reason why they performed so poorly in the regular season last year. But anyways, Miles Bridges has to play a key role in order for the Charlotte Hornets to make the playoffs this year. He has to have a great season. If he doesn't this year, I don't think the Hornets have a great shot at all. Okay, so enough of them. Now let's talk about the last team on my list, the Chicago Bulls. So as we all now know, the Bulls have one of the more promising and young and talented teams in the NBA. And since the East is so weak and the last two spots are pretty much wide open, they have a really good chance to actually make the playoffs. Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, Jabari Parker, and Lauri Markkanen are gonna surprise a lot of people this year. They have a great starting lineup and a solid bench. That consists of players like Bobby Portis, Denzel Valentine, and etc. The key though to the Bulls making the playoffs, in my opinion, is Wendell Carter Jr. He has to, and most likely will be, in my opinion, the defensive anchor for this Bulls team. He should be the Joakim Noah from 2013 for the Bulls. You know why? Well, let me tell you why. The Bulls actually don't have many great defenders in their starting lineup. Zach LaVine and Jabari Parker are garbage defensively. Lauri Markkanen is actually serviceable and he's not a liability. And Chris Dunn is actually great defensively. But I still do not think that Chris Dunn's great defensive presence will be enough for the Bulls to make the playoffs. If Wendell Carter Jr. can protect the rim, guard smaller players when needed to, and cover teammates, I believe the Bulls will pretty much be a lock to make the playoffs. Only if Wendell Carter Jr. ends up holding things down defensively though. But this is the end of the video, man. Let me know what you guys think. In my eyes, I believe Jaren Jackson Jr., Collin Sexton, and Wendell Carter Jr. are more than likely gonna lead their teams to the playoffs, or at least play a key role to their teams making the playoffs. Oh, and also let me not forget, if you don't know already, which I'm pretty sure you should know by now, I actually came out with clothing like last week or 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna leave links all over the place and you go ahead and cop one if you want. If you don't want to, don't sweat it, but you're missing out. And yeah, this for real, this time the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. Who else do you believe should have been on this list? Do you really think DeAndre Ayton can lead the Phoenix Suns to the playoffs? I hope you don't believe that, because if so, you need help. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll get right with you.
No way, no way, yeah, yeah. Maybe back when I couldn't get a play, yeah, yeah. No